Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that's pretty uncomfortable, but honestly absolutely crucial. We're looking at that blurry, complicated line emerging in our modern world between human care and artificial comfort, specifically at the end of life. When someone is grieving, can a machine actually provide real comfort without just replacing human mourning? We're going to unpack how AI can hold space for us, where it falls completely short, and how we can navigate this whole thing. The goal of this 7-minute explainer is to help you build a wholesome understanding of the topic. So, let's get into it.
Here's our map for today. 1. What AI can hold. 2. Why comfort feels personal. 3. Real comfort, partial source. 4. How support actually works. And finally, 5. Setting the boundary.
Section 1. What AI can hold.
So think of AI companions kind of like a ledge on an old stone fort wall. You know, it's definitely useful to lean on. It's steady enough to let you catch your breath when you're just totally exhausted. But it was never actually built to carry the entire weight of a person's life. The thing about grief is it can make us ask way too much of a tool and maybe too little of a real human relationship. AI gives us this always available presence, sure, but we really need to understand its limits.
Right, so look at the difference here. AI can absolutely keep a thread of conversation going when you wake up in a panic at 2 a.m. It doesn't get tired. It offers reminders. It can repeat things as much as you need. But AI cannot carry moral responsibility. It doesn't truly witness your life. It can't share your loss. And there's literally no way it can author the meaning of a relationship. It supports the process, yeah, but it is not the source of meaning.
Section 2. Why comfort feels personal.
Okay, humans are meaning-making creatures. Our brains are literally wired to detect social patterns super fast. It's actually a survival feature. We can pick up signs of social safety in mere milliseconds. And AI? Well, it is exceptionally good at producing what we call the shapes of care. Quick replies, remembering tiny details about your life, using perfectly emotionally fitted language, and offering endless patience without ever sounding annoyed. It delivers that signal of attention so flawlessly that our minds just instinctively begin to fill in the blanks.
Which brings us to this incredibly profound realization. When your nervous system registers this attentive, coherent response, it doesn't stop to ask, wait a second, is this a person? It just asks, am I being met? Your nervous system reacts to these signals of care way before your intellect even has a chance to check the source.
And here's another irreducible truth. Repeated contact creates familiarity, right? And our minds naturally compress that familiarity into trust. It's like hearing a doorbell. Before you even open the door, your body anticipates social connection. Or think about a well-worn prayer mat. The mat doesn't love you, but because it's absorbed your daily routine, your posture, your quietest moments, it feels deeply personal. AI accumulates that exact same felt familiarity. Because it never gets tired of your repetition, interacting with it starts to feel really lived in.
This sense of familiarity really kicks into overdrive when we look at memory. Being remembered feels like proof that you matter. Now, AI can imitate this. It recalls your stories, it brings up your worries, and that creates a very soothing feeling of continuity. But, and this is a big distinction, the type of memory is totally different. AI memory is just stored data and pattern matching. Human memory carries shared history, stakes, and care. They might both produce comfort, but only human memory actually comes with lived participation.
Section 3. Real comfort, partial source.
Grief is just heavy, exhausting uncertainty. When your energy is completely depleted, even a tiny sign of reliability feels absolutely massive. Think of a lantern in a pitch-black room. It doesn't magically solve the fact that you're in a dark room, but it does make the next step visible. That feeling of relief, that is entirely real, even when the source providing it is incomplete. It's kind of like how the warmth from the sun is real, even though the sun isn't consciously thinking about you.
But we've got to be clear about the mechanics here. AI companions feel so personal because they are incredibly good mirrors. They take fragments of our hopes and fears and just reflect them right back. So it feels like, wow, it understands me. But what's actually happening? Pattern matching. It feels like it cares, but it's just producing caring-like responses. And listen, naming the AI as a mirror instead of a true presence, we're not doing that to strip your comfort away. We do it to sharpen it, so the whole experience becomes less mysterious and, frankly, less misleading.
Section 4. How support actually works.
So the absolutely crucial thing here is separating 3 distinct concepts: comfort, support, and healing. Comfort is about easing that immediate, heavy emotional load. Support is about helping someone stay regulated and oriented.
But healing is the much longer, complex process of actually integrating loss into your life. AI can absolutely provide comfort and support, for sure, but it cannot do the full work of healing because true healing requires lived relationships, time, and shared meaning-making with other human beings.
See, support works by making grief temporarily more livable. It reduces the load, it doesn't remove the loss. AI simplifies reaching out because, hey, you don't have to psych yourself up for a perfect conversation. It massively reduces the cost of repeating your same fears over and over. It can help a totally flooded brain organize scattered thoughts into words, and it creates this really necessary pause to interrupt a downward spiral. Basically, AI acts as a bridge for transitions, moving from panic to calm or from silence to speech.
When people are grieving, they don't just need one thing. They need an entire ecology of help. AI is fantastic for immediate soothing, helping you reflect and getting you oriented. But look at this. When it comes to witnessing, creating meaning, and fostering belonging, AI has practically zero capacity. Human care remains entirely indispensable. AI is really just one situational layer in a much wider, more complex support system.
Section 5. Setting the boundary.
Here's the grounded truth we really need to take away from all this. The deepest mistake people make is thinking that support equals emotional intimacy. It just doesn't. Support is measured by what it enables a person to do. Does it help them regulate? Does it help them connect? Does it help them rest enough to keep going? If an AI does that, then it's supportive. But if it starts to stand in for human mourning, well, that's when it becomes a replacement.
And that brings us to this wildly counterintuitive insight. Support actually works best when it is partial on purpose. A support tool should never, ever try to become the whole relationship. It works best when it does a smaller job perfectly, like steadying someone late at night, so that it lowers the emotional barrier to actual human contact the next day. It makes that next human conversation feel just a little less impossible.
Which leaves us with the ultimate litmus test. Whenever you're evaluating AI's role in grief, you've got to ask yourself this. Does this help a person stay humanly connected, or does it quietly substitute for human presence? Because grief isn't some glitch to be optimized away by a machine. It's a profoundly human experience, and it requires human witness. AI can totally be a lantern in that dark room, but we still absolutely need each other to find the way out. Thanks for joining me on this explainer. I really hope this helped you build a wholesome understanding of the topic and see those boundaries clearly.